Okay, so now with that said, it is now time that we are going to jump onto the grand finale. And one thing that I would like to mention is that there were some people that were a little bit disappointed in the last episode that I did not talk about some video game news, considering that last week there was a major announcement regarding all the information coming out regarding the PlayStation 5 and some of the new games that are going to be coming out, like the return of Little Sackboy, like he's going to make a comeback from Little Big Planet. There is also a new Ratchet and Clank game coming out, but probably the most anticipated game coming out of the PS5 is another Spider-Man game, which is kind of like I guess you could say a spin-off to the acclaimed PS4 game by Insomniac, but this time starring Miles Morales. So to go and make things up for you guys, I will get back into talking about video game news if you really want to hear my thoughts on that. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to be talking about probably the biggest video game news that occurred this week. And that is regarding the fact that Pokémon has finally announced a long-anticipated video game. People have been demanding this for a very long time, and now we'll have their opportunity to have it. So with that said, let's go ahead and check out the trailer for the new Pokemon game, literally new Pokemon Snap. Yeah, happy Pikachu. Yes, that was new Pokemon Snap, which is going to be coming out for the Nintendo Switch. Now, we don't have a confirmation regarding a release date. This is only the reveal of the game that they have announced, mainly because it was a pretty big week for Pokemon in general, since they did reveal several things. Number one being a few extra little games that they have revealed for like the mobile phone and stuff like that, and also especially the fact that on Pokemon Sword and Shield, this week was actually the release of the first expansion pack, Isle of Armor. So a lot of Switch gamers are going back to their Pokemon games and now checking out the expanded world and now catching even more Pokemon that were once unavailable for the game, and now they can go and catch them all over again and, you know, train new and stronger Pokemon and all that kind of stuff. But going back into new Pokemon Snap, with the stuff that they have shown, honestly, I might as well just say, just like most everyone else, I am freaking hyped up. Like, holy crap, this looks amazing, and I am excited for this. Now, if you guys know me, then you probably know that I am definitely a major Pokemon fan, and I love playing the games. In fact, like, I'm still playing Pokemon Sword and Shield, and yeah, definitely getting into the world of the Isle of Armor as well. But on top of that, I have played Pokemon Snap. Like, I remember when I was a kid, I often rented it at Blockbuster. I didn't actually own it, but I have played it a few times on my Nintendo 64. And I remember back when there was one Blockbuster that was close to me that did actually have that massive station where, and it's actually really cool, where you can actually get, like, bring your game, you can put it in that special machine, and you can actually get, like, real photographs of the pictures that you have taken in the game. Because if you don't know what Pokemon Snap is, it's basically you're on a little tram and you see a bunch of Pokemon around you, and the goal is to take the best pictures of those Pokemon. That's it. It's more just a photography game than anything. But because it is Pokemon themed, it is actually a lot of fun to play, and especially with the element of Pokemon, it does help expand the world in a sense where you see like the mannerisms of Pokemon, like not just like when they're battling, but like when they're just minding their own business, when they're in their respective areas. It's very fascinating. It's a lot like it's a safari expedition. And that's what, in a way, that's what it is. You're pretty much in a Pokemon-themed safari expedition. And now the fact that they have released a new Pokemon Snap, like, this is really exciting. And you can already tell that, like, it was pretty much destined to be on the Nintendo Switch. And I'll tell you why. Because there were previous games where they try to use that camera element. Because on the Nintendo Switch, there is a gyro function where if you put it up on handheld mode, then you can actually move it around and it would feel like you're in that environment. And there are a few games that do try to utilize that, like for example, Super Mario Odyssey, or I believe Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild also has that as well. And when gamers saw that functionality be applied to it in a way that is actually pretty innovative and can often feel like a legitimate camera, that's when you could tell they're all demanding to have a Pokemon Snap game. It's like, okay, we have the technology. This is perfect for it. Even if you don't use that gyro function and you want to put it up on the big screen, like this is something that people really, really want to use, that they're excited to go and have that come to life. And like even using like the handheld version, it would actually feel like you are actually there. It's almost like augmented reality in a sense. But well, maybe virtual reality or augmented reality, but it would actually feel like you are taking those pictures of those Pokemon respectively. And seeing the new game, like what they have now, like especially with the enhanced graphics compared to the Nintendo 64 before, but especially with all the new Pokemon, like they're pretty much promoting, like it's not just like the main Pokemon we all know and love, like going back a little bit, where is it, like it's not just like the classic Pokemon we know, like a Dodrio or a Lapras with a Squirtle and stuff, but we also got some like the new Pokemon from the later generations, like here we got you can take a picture of a Wailord, or there's some pictures before like a Pukekyu, and then like even some of the latest ones from Sword and Shield, like here's a picture, like you got Pichu hanging out with a Score Bunny. So like there's like literally hundreds of Pokemon, and now like the options are pretty much almost limitless in terms of like which Pokemon that you can go and find, and you could take a nice little picture with them. And with the enhanced graphics, it definitely looks beautiful, and you can have some great moments where you can have like a beautiful legitimate picture where like it feels like it's more than just coming from a video game. Like already the graphics look great, it stays true to the Pokemon style, and even like it does implement some great effects. Like here's a Dodrio singing to a bunch of Torterras, where one Torterra has a Score Bunny and Pichu on him. Like here, like this Torterra, like just stomping on the ground, like you see like the dirt just rising up. Or like another example, like the Wailord. The Wailord is a great example, like just coming out from the waves. Like, yeah, they're not, like, yeah, it's not the best effects, but I mean, like, you could, like, compared to how it was before, like, this is definitely a massive upgrade, and I am totally excited for this. But there is one thing that I will say that I am so excited about for this one in particular, is the fact that, and this is even an improvement compared to Pokemon Sword and Shield, is that now we can actually get the Pokemon in their correct size, especially the fact that I am so happy they got Wailord here. In fact, I think I saw there was another picture. Yeah, hold on a sec. There's another, yeah, like there's, oh crap, it's so quick. Yeah, like there's this one picture here, like you could go and check out, there's a bunch of Wailords. Like, finally, you can actually find a Wailord, and it is true to its size, because that's probably the one complaint I do have in terms of the graphics of Pokemon Sword and Shield, is that they have definitely altered with the size of the Pokemon, and it's not real, like, yeah, they'll say, like, some Pokemon or some legendary Pokemon can be, like, 12 feet tall, but then, like, when you put them out of their Pokeball, they'll be, like, no different than the size of your character avatar. You know, it will still stay, like, at 5 feet or something like that. And especially with Wailord, which is meant to be, like, one of the biggest or possibly the biggest Pokemon of them all. Like, they're, you know, they somehow shrunk the guy. They did a massive injustice to Wailord. But now you see this, and, like, you see the pictures that you could take, and now you can actually take pictures of real Wailords that are the size of what they are promised to be. And that's what I really want. Like, somehow, it's somehow so hard to ask for a Wailord to be its true size. Like, the only way to get an actual sized Wailord in Pokemon Sword and Shield is to go and Dynamax it. No. That should be the regular size in the first place. If I want a Dynamax Wailord, I literally want the screen to be just blue. I want literally where the clouds are suddenly disappearing and somehow everything is overshadowed. You no longer see the sun. You just see a giant freaking Wailord the size of Galar. That's what I want. I want the screen to be just blue and just have the face of Wailord just popping out and going, "Nyeh." Is that so hard to ask? But apparently, the good news is that I can actually make my dreams come true with Pokemon Snap. I could just make a massive zoom on Wailord's face, and I'll take that as, like, this is the true Dynamax Wailord on how it should be in the games. But yes, unfortunately, they did not officially reveal when a release date is going to be happening. But what is interesting to note, though, is that next week we are getting a bunch of video game news, including another big update coming from Pokemon, on top of other news announcements, including apparently a Crash Bandicoot 4, and also like the reveal of who's going to be the ARMS character appearing in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So that's going to be interesting to see, but overall, I will say that with new Pokemon Snap, I'm definitely excited for this one, and I can't wait for that game to actually be released, whenever it will be. Maybe it will be next year, maybe 2022, but we'll see how it goes. Alright, so with that said, I would like to go into the chat wall, and I would like to ask you all, what do you think about new Pokemon Snap? How do you feel about the trailer? Is it a game that you are interested to go and get? Do you think you would go and actually buy it? Have you been anticipating for Pokemon Snap, or do you just not care about this in general? Let me know what you all think. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Here comes an unpopular opinion. This looks boring. You just take pictures of a Pokemon and that's it. I can get that in Jurassic Park Operation Genesis and Jurassic World Evolution, and those offer more things. Except for zoo games like Zoo Tycoon 2, I was never big on the Safari photo games. If it's a Safari, I'd rather do it in real life. It might have been since I haven't played a Pokemon game since the early 2000s, not counting the Super Smash Bros. Games. Yeah, this is a game where, like, it's the kind where you kind of have to get into Pokemon to, like, understand, like, what is the appeal of the games. You know, it's more of a Pokemon fan thing. Let's see what we got here. As someone who has played Pokemon Snap, I am certainly excited for this. The graphics of this are incredibly beautiful and just make Sword and Shield look dated, most notably with the size of the Pokemon. I just hope that Oak will stop criticizing for not taking the Pokemon at the exact center of the picture. It's called art, dang it! Just let me experiment with angles. Oh man, that is so true. Sometimes it can be just freaking annoying. It's like, you know, oh my god, that would probably be the most hilarious thing. Like, get someone who graduated from, like, photography class and like make them play Pokemon Snap, and like everything that they have learned has to be thrown out the window. That would be, you know, get a real photographer play Pokemon Snap. That would make a very hilarious video. Okay. Let's see. Wow, that was amazing. While I have never played the original and only seen the Runaway Guys playthrough of it, I think it looks visually impressive, and it is something that is warranted. And I am loving this trend of remastering classic games for different consoles. Yeah, definitely. Let's see, what else do we got here? This is interesting. Someone has mentioned as well, so that you are, are you nervous that Namco Bandai is making the next Pokemon Snap instead of HAL Laboratory Inc.? Well, I mean, Namco Bandai has done some pretty good projects with Nintendo. I mean, they have collaborated with them with some of the Super Smash Bros. Games. So honestly, I'm not all that worried, to be very honest. It's like, I think they'll do a pretty decent job. Like if they've done well. Oh wait, but it's Bandai Namco Games. Oh, someone says wait, it's Bandai Namco Games. Maybe there could be a different. Yeah, maybe there could be a difference, but honestly, I think at the end of the day, we'll just wait and see. We'll wait and see with how it is, but it could turn out well. But I know I'm definitely putting up some anticipation for this.